So let us talk to the man of the hour, Senator Rand Paul, presidential candidate. And of course, Kentucky Senator joins me now. Welcome back, Senator.
Thanks for having me.
My first question, of course, in the monologue, is Liberty dead?
You just have to look for it. And Liberty's alive and well on the college campuses. We have 350 college campuses organized, 15 college campuses in Iowa organized. Over 1,000 kids are ready to caucus and have agreed to caucus for us in Iowa. So we find that the message very much resonates with kids. And if you loosely define kids as 40 and under, 83% of those 40 and under think that the president went too far in collecting all of our phone records. So they tend to have this idea that they want a zone of privacy and they want the government out of their affairs. So I think Liberty is alive and well.
Okay, college libertarians are smart. They are the best hope of the future. I believe that completely. Unfortunately, you are not running for president of college libertarians. And
you're right. You're right.
So how can we get you some traction in this race? Right now, your Real Clear Politics average is at 2.4%.
Yeah, but the polls are very much distorted by celebrity right now. And when the celebrity begins to wear off, and as that celebrity seems to put a foot in his mouth every other day, I think what will happen is the polls are going to normalize. See, it's not only us. I mean, you have people who everybody thought there'd be a front runner in Jeb Bush in 4th place. So there's a lot of people underperforming in polls, but it's early.
But they're not just underperforming in polls. They're also underperforming in debates, and that's the only contrast you have with other candidates. Right. Do you feel that you have done well in debates and they have shown your strongest side?
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well in the debates. We have less time to do well in the debates. And so the first debate, I had the least amount of time of anybody on the stage. The second debate, I was on twice as much as the first debate. So I was on for 10 minutes. And we haven't seen the movement in the polls, but we can feel it everywhere we go. I mean, I was at Iowa State last week and we had 600 kids. University of South Carolina, 600 kids. So we have big crowds everywhere we go. And if I didn't turn my computer on and look at the stories that aren't always so favorable, I would have no idea from traveling on the road that we aren't doing great.
I have no doubt that you have tapped into something that is so incredibly important and so necessary for the future health of this country. My worry is that people are so distracted by candidates with big personalities and anti-liberty messages that it's now being seen as a fad that has fallen by the wayside. What is your path to the White House?
It's going to sort itself out over time. I mean, we're in it for the long haul.
That's not a confidence-boosting answer for conservatarians, liberty-minded Republicans, and libertarians.
What do you want me to do? Set myself on fire? I mean, we are doing what we have to do to get the message out. And we think that the numbers are actually much higher than represented. Do you know anybody under 40 that has a landline? We don't think the polls actually represent our strength. And I think as we get closer and we actually have elections, see, we have organizations in all 50 states. I mean, we're in it for the long haul, and it's just a matter of getting enough debate time that we actually can get the momentum going.
Okay, some Kentucky Republicans are worried that you are not spending enough time on your Senate seat. What is the point where your candidacy?
That's someone at Politico. That's somebody who doesn't like me.
But it's part of the conversation today, and I have to ask: at what point do you survey the landscape and say this may not be working out? We can't screw up our numbers in the Senate, and when do you make that call?
Yeah, there is nothing limiting us from running for the presidency and the Senate. We changed our primary for the presidency in Kentucky to be a caucus.
Yes, you did.
Precisely, so we wouldn't have a problem. So we don't have any obstacles in Kentucky. My numbers in Kentucky are stronger than any other candidate or legislator in Kentucky. So we're doing just fine, and we just need to keep doing what we're doing.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about what you would do when you become president. What do you do with marijuana your first day as president? Do you reschedule it? What do you do?
Well, yeah, I am for rescheduling it. I'm for the CARES Act, which I have with Kirsten Gillibrand in Congress. But first thing you do is that the federal government shouldn't be involved with interfering with the states, and the states should be left alone to make up their marijuana policy.
And you did a very good job of explaining that to Governor Christie in the last debate. And I think that's where you scored some of your best points. So,
yeah, it's really important, and I think people don't like hypocrisy. You had all these governors standing up and say how great the 10th Amendment is, and we want to leave the power to the states, until it came to marijuana, and they're like, oh, no, except for marijuana, we still want the federal government to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Most people are tending towards thinking that this isn't an incarceration problem, that there are better ways of dealing with this, and that there actually are some positive attributes and aspects for medical marijuana.
Certainly. Just ask the makers of Doritos. Senator Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you have any questions about your next moves, holler at the kid. Thanks again.
Thank you.